Chosen ones, this is exactly what God wants you to become this Monday. In the quiet coastal city of Karachi, where the Arabian Sea whispered secrets to the shore every dawn, lived a young man named Elias. He was 32, a graphic designer by trade, but lately his days felt like gray sketches, half-finished, colorless, and easily erased. He woke each morning to the same routine: coffee that tasted like regret, a commute clogged with honking rickshaws, and a job where his creativity was confined to client revisions that stripped every bold idea down to something safe and forgettable. Elias had once dreamed bigger. In university, he sketched visions of digital art that could move hearts, stories told through pixels that carried hope. But life had a way of sanding down dreams. A failed startup, a broken engagement, bills that never stopped arriving. He told himself he was just being realistic. Yet deep inside, a quiet voice kept asking, "Is this really all there is?" One Sunday night, unable to sleep, Elias sat on his small balcony overlooking the dim streetlights. He opened his old sketchbook, the one he hadn't touched in years. The pages were filled with half-drawn figures, people rising from ashes, hands reaching toward light, eyes that seemed to see something beyond the frame. He stared at them and felt a pang he couldn't name. That night he prayed, not the polite prayers of childhood, but raw, honest words. "God, if you have a plan for me, show me. I'm tired of feeling like I'm waiting for a life that never starts. If I'm chosen for anything, make it clear, please." He fell asleep with the sketchbook open on his chest. Monday morning arrived like any other, except it didn't. The alarm didn't go off. Instead, Elias woke naturally at 5:47 a.m. to the sound of the azan echoing across the city, soft and steady. He felt strangely rested, as if someone had lifted a weight from his shoulders while he slept. He rose, made tea, and sat again with the sketchbook. This time, he didn't just look, he began to draw. The lines came fast, almost without thought. A figure emerging from shadows, not broken but transformed, stronger, eyes blazing with quiet fire. As he drew, words formed in his mind, unbidden but clear. "This Monday, I am calling you to become the one who no longer hides his light, the one who stops apologizing for his gifts, the one who walks forward even when the path is unclear, because I am the one who lights it." Elias paused, heart pounding. Was this imagination or something more? He decided to test it. Instead of rushing to work, he called in sick, something he had never done without a fever or a real excuse. Then he opened his laptop and began a project he had shelved for years, a digital series called Chosen Ones, short animated stories of ordinary people discovering they were made for more. Each piece carried a simple message of divine purpose woven into everyday struggles. By noon, he had finished the first animation. It was rough but alive. He posted it on his long-dormant Instagram account with a caption, "This is exactly what God wants you to become this Monday. Unafraid, unashamed, unstoppable in the purpose He placed inside you." He expected nothing, maybe a few likes from old friends. But within hours, the post began to spread. Comments poured in. "This spoke straight to my soul. I've been hiding too. I cried watching this. Thank you for reminding me I'm not forgotten. God used you today. Keep going." By evening, the video had thousands of views. Strangers messaged him, sharing how the simple animation had given them courage to quit toxic jobs, to start the book they'd always wanted to write, to forgive someone they thought they never could. Elias stared at the numbers in disbelief. But more than the reach, it was the shift inside him that stunned him most. For the first time in years, he didn't feel small. He felt seen, chosen. That night, he prayed again, this time in gratitude. "God, I thought being chosen meant something grand, fame, wealth, a spotlight. But maybe it's simpler. Maybe it's just refusing to stay small when you've called me bigger.
Maybe it's using what I already have, the pencil, the screen, the heart, to remind others they are chosen too. The next morning, Tuesday, he woke early again. The voice returned, gentle but firm. This is who I want you to become, not perfect but persistent, not fearless but faithful, a light that doesn't flicker when the wind blows hard. Keep creating, keep sharing. The world needs the version of you that dares to believe my words over your wounds. Elias smiled. He wasn't suddenly rich or famous. The bills were still there, the doubts still whispered, but something had irrevocably changed. He was no longer waiting for permission to live fully. He had received it from the one who had chosen him long before he ever chose to believe it. And every Monday after that, he reminded himself and anyone who would listen, this is exactly what God wants you to become. Not tomorrow, not when everything is perfect, this Monday. Step into it. The old version of you already broke so the chosen one could rise. You were never meant to stay hidden. You were made to shine. In the bustling heart of Karachi, where the humid air carried the mingled scents of salt from the Arabian Sea and spices from roadside vendors, Elias Rahman lived in a modest apartment on the third floor of a weathered building in Clifton. At 32, he was a man who had learned to blend into the background. His days as a graphic designer at a mid-tier advertising firm were a monotonous loop. Wake at dawn to the cacophony of traffic and muezzins calling the faithful to prayer, gulp down a hasty cup of milky chai, endure the sweat-drenched commute on a crowded bus, and spend 8 hours hunched over a computer screen, tweaking logos and banners until they lost all soul. His evenings were quieter. Solitary dinners of biryani from the corner stall, scrolling through social media feeds that showcased lives far more vibrant than his own, and collapsing into bed with the weight of unfulfilled potential pressing on his chest. Elias hadn't always been this way. Born to a middle-class family in the labyrinthian streets of Lyari, he had shown early promise. As a child, he would sketch fantastical scenes on scraps of newspaper, heroes battling dragons, cities rising from the sea, people with eyes that held the stars. His teachers praised his talent, and his mother, a school teacher herself, saved every rupee to send him to a decent art school. University had been his golden era. Nights filled with caffeine-fueled inspiration, friends who dreamed as big as he did, and a portfolio that won awards. He had even started a small startup with 2 classmates, designing digital art for social causes, but the venture crumbled under the harsh realities of funding droughts and market indifference. Then came the engagement to Aisha, a fellow artist who shared his passion, but that too shattered when she moved abroad for better opportunities, leaving him with a heart that felt like one of his unfinished sketches, raw edges, no resolution. Now, Elias told himself he was content. Stability is a blessing, he'd mutter, echoing his father's words, but deep down, a restlessness gnawed at him. He attended Friday prayers at the local mosque, seeking solace in the rhythmic recitations, but even there he felt like an outsider, praying for guidance that never seemed to arrive. Am I chosen for anything? He'd wonder in the quiet moments. Or am I just another face in the crowd, forgotten by God and the world? One sweltering Sunday evening in late summer, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Elias couldn't shake the unease. The power outage had plunged his apartment into darkness, save for the flickering light of his phone screen. He sat on his tiny balcony, the humid breeze ruffling his hair, and pulled out an old sketchbook from under his bed. Dust motes danced in the beam of his flashlight as he flipped through the pages. There were drawings from his university days, a woman breaking free from chains, a child planting a tree in a barren desert, a figure standing at a crossroads with one path lit by ethereal light. Each one stirred something in him, a longing he had buried under layers of routine. That night, sleep evaded him. Lying on his worn mattress, staring at the ceiling fan that spun lazily, he did something he hadn't done in years. He prayed with raw honesty, not the memorized supplications, but a heartfelt plea. Ya Allah, using the Arabic term for God that felt both intimate and vast. If you have a purpose for me, show it. I'm tired of this half-life. I feel like I'm waiting for permission to exist. If I'm one of your chosen ones, make it clear. Guide me, please. I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending this is enough. Exhaustion finally claimed him, the sketchbook still open beside him, its pages whispering promises of what could be. Monday morning broke differently. No shrill alarm pierced the silence. Instead, Elias stirred at 5:47 a.m. to the melodic azan from the nearby mosque, its call weaving through the pre-dawn hush like a gentle invitation. He felt inexorably refreshed, as if invisible hands had smoothed away the knots of worry during the night. Rising, he performed his ablutions with unusual care, the cool water on his face feeling like a baptism. He brewed a pot of strong tea, not the rushed instant kind, but loose leaves steeped slowly, filling the air with aromatic steam. Sitting at his cluttered desk, he picked up the sketchbook again. This time, hesitation gave way to action. His pencil danced across the page, lines forming without conscious effort. A silhouette emerged from swirling shadows, not defeated, but rising, transformed, muscles taut with resolve, eyes ablaze with an inner fire that seemed to leap off the paper. As he shaded the figure's face, words bubbled up in his mind, unbidden yet resonant. This Monday, I am calling you to become the one who no longer hides, the one who embraces the gifts I have given without apology, the one who steps forward even when the path is veiled in fog, for I am the light that reveals it step by step. Elias froze, pencil hovering. Was this his imagination, a remnant of a dream, or something divine? His heart raced, a mix of awe and skepticism. He had read stories of prophets and saints receiving revelations, but he was no holy man, just Elias, the forgotten dreamer. He decided to test it. For the first time in his career, he called his boss and feigned illness, his voice steady by spite the lie. "Just a fever," he said, hanging up before guilt could settle. Free from the day's obligations, he opened his laptop, dust bunnies scattering as the screen flickered to life. He dove into a project long abandoned, Chosen Ones, a series of short animated stories about everyday people discovering their divine purpose amid life's chaos. The first animation took shape. A young woman in a Karachi market, burdened by societal expectations, suddenly hearing a whisper that urged her to pursue her passion for poetry. Simple frames, but infused with emotion, her eyes widening in realization, words flowing from her pen like a river unleashed. By noon, it was done, imperfect but pulsing with life. With trembling fingers, he uploaded it to his dormant Instagram account, captioning it, "Chosen Ones, this is exactly what God wants you to become this Monday, unafraid, unashamed, unstoppable in the purpose He placed within you. Rise up."
He hit post and stepped away, expecting silence, maybe a pity like from his cousin. But as he paced the room, notifications began to chime. First a trickle, then a flood. "This is me. I've been stuck in a job I hate. Thank you for the nudge. Cried watching this. Feels like God spoke through you. Shared with my sister. She needed this today." By afternoon, views climbed into the hundreds. Messages poured in.
a teacher in Lahore inspired to start a community art class, a student in Islamabad quitting a major his parents chose for him, a mother in Peshawar finding courage to leave an abusive marriage. Elias read them wide-eyed, his small apartment suddenly feeling expansive. As the sun set, casting long shadows across his floor, doubt crept in. This is a fluke, he thought. Tomorrow it'll fade. But that evening, at iftar with his family, breaking fast with dates and samosas, his phone buzzed incessantly. His sister Noor noticed. "What's going on, Bai? You're famous?" He showed her the video. Her eyes misted. "This is beautiful. You've always had this in you. Why did you stop?" Elias shrugged, but inside, the words from that morning echoed. He prayed again that night, gratitude mingling with questions. God, is this it? Being chosen isn't about grandeur, it's about using what I have to lift others. Thank you for showing me. Tuesday dawned with the same clarity. The inner voice returned. Become persistent, not perfect. Faithful, not fearless. A beacon that endures storms. Keep creating, Elias. The world awaits the light only you can share. Energized, he quit his job that day, politely, with notice, but firmly. I need to follow my path, he told his stunned boss. Freed, he poured into the series. The second animation, a fisherman on the Karachi harbor, doubting his worth after a poor catch, realizing his true calling was mentoring youth. Posted that evening, it exploded, shared by influencers, discussed in online forums. Word spread. A local NGO contacted him for collaborations. Friends from university reconnected, offering support. Even Aisha messaged from abroad. Proud of you. This is the Elias I knew. But challenges came. Trolls mocked the religious tone. Preachy nonsense. Family worried about finances. Art doesn't pay bills. Elias faced nights of doubt, sketching furiously to silence them. One stormy evening, power out again, he sat in candlelight, drawing a new character, himself at a crossroads, choosing light over shadow. Months passed. Chosen ones grew into a movement. Elias hosted workshops in community centers, teaching digital art to underprivileged kids. He traveled to Lahore, speaking at events, his story inspiring thousands. He met Sana, a writer, who collaborated on scripts, their shared faith blossoming into love. Yet he never forgot that Monday, the pivot point. Every week, he posted a reminder. This is exactly what God wants you to become this Monday. Not when you're ready, not when it's safe, now. The old you shattered so the chosen one could emerge. You were made for this light. Step into it. Elias's life wasn't perfect. Bills still loomed, critics persisted, but it was purposeful. He had become what God intended, a vessel of hope, proving the chosen ones aren't born in palaces, but in ordinary hearts willing to listen. And in Karachi's endless rhythm, Elias shone, a testament that divine purpose awaits anyone ready to claim it. This Monday, or any day, could be yours.